Hello, everyone. Blessings and welcome. Whew. Oh, little bit of the shaking things off. So, welcome. Hoping everybody's having a fabulous Friday. It's fabulous Friday. It's the last Friday before Christmas, and I have to put my lipstick on. It's all part of it. Doing my lipstick, and now I have to fluff the hair because I'm on here. So fluffing the hair, which I don't think I should have just left it, right? Putting on lipstick was great, but fluffing the hair just didn't do it. So, anyways, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. I am the Guru Mama, Mary June Tracy, psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and an astrologer. And coming with you with a little bit of the 411 of the shenanigans of the highways and byways of the skies and how it relates to us as we're doing a little humble earth walk. Little humble earth walk. That's what we do. It's a little bit of a humble earth walk. That's what we do. Good morning. Good morning, Char. It is a humbling as we take each day in stride. I know. Some days are just like, "Oh, so fabulous," and other days are like, "Oh, what the hell?" Um, I will be talking more about the review of 2024 or 2023 next week, and, some of the crazy shenanigans and stuff. But, I mean, we're still in it, man. We're still in it. We still this year, we still have till what? December 31st, and then according to the calendar that we follow, a new year begins. you know, and everybody expects woohoo, new year, and then they wake up and it's like woohoo, we're still here in the same energies. It takes a while for things to sort of progress and change um throughout the year, and I think I said I wouldn't talk about, and it's like almost this year started off. We started off with the Mercury retrograde. We started off with the Mars retrograde. We started off with this movement of trying to go forward, and it felt very slow and sluggish. And then all of a sudden, it's like in a quick instant, we're here. It's like, how crazy is that? How crazy is that, right? Well, I know today it might be feeling a little bit mercurial, mercury-ish, and that's because of the Gazini. And the Gazini is when the sun and Mercury sort of collide together, but they're going like this. They're not going together where usually Mercury will surpass the sun, but it's Mercury's going backwards, so he'll pass, and he's going back to Sag, and the sun is going forward into Capricorn. What is Capricorn? We've had such Capricornian energy over the last since 2008, with Pluto there, and we've talked about Capricorn, and then everything that happened from things that, from 2019 to 2020 to where we are now in 2023 and I think people have become more aware of Capricornian energy than before. And one of the things about Capricorn and the energies of this beautiful, and I'm going to say it isn't as bad as what people a lot of people don't like Capricorn. They don't. I have clients that say that I had one client that told me to take Capricorn out of their chart. And I laughed. Oh, you just can't do that. But because Capricorn it is a mystical, because it's a mystical sea goat, right? You have the sea goat that has the mermaid tail, that's the connection to the sea, to the goat that is, going up the mountain. And it has that mystical side. And a lot of people forget about the mystical side about Capricorn and creating that mystical magic as you are having a foundation. Capricorn is a feminine sign, it is an earth sign, and it is ruled by Saturn. So there are things about having structure, about having that structure. Now, when I was thinking, I do that sometimes. I do think sometimes that when you are doing anything to do with, say, a magical practice, if you have a magical practice, there's a discipline to it. It's just you don't you don't be like Mickey Mouse and Fantasia and like, oh, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and everything just explodes all over the place, right? There's a discipline to it. There's an understanding of what things work together, what things may not work together, what deities you want to work with. And some deities work really, really well together, and other deities are like you find, well, why is there so much calamity and chaos in my life? Well, maybe certain ones just, I wouldn't put Aphrodite with, say, Callie or somebody like that, because it might cause a little bit of a tip, and Callie might slap her around a bit, and Aphrodite might get a little bit pissed. So there goes your love life and relationships and chaos. So I mean, especially if you're like, oh, I want to bring a change of new love and understanding in my life, so I'll bring in Callie and Aphrodite. No. Just no, that just wouldn't work. It would work. It just the results that you might go through might not be the ones that you really are looking for. But Capricorn, having that mystical side, wants to bring forth that mystery, the mystery of creating, the mystery of discovering. And part of that, I feel, is the discipline. I talked a little bit of that this morning on my TikTok. Discipline, when you look into the word discipline, is disciple, right? And then when you think of disciple, well, disciples are just followers. Yeah, they're just followers. No, a disciple is a student, is somebody who wants to learn. So when you have a discipline, you become a disciple of something because you are wanting to learn it. You are wanting to um, find out about whatever it is that discipline is that you are wanting to discover, right? And I find with the sun coming in and Mercury, doing its shenanigans and craziness, because they'll be feeling a little bit mercurial throughout the day with communications. That's where the mystery comes in. That's where the magic comes in, and allowing for the magic to come into your life, because that is a time of being still. That's the time of really looking at, what do I need to plan here? What is my discipline that I need to implement in my life? Now, a lot of times people are like, oh, but it's Christmas and it's New Year's. I don't want to have a discipline. But a discipline is a part of life. It's a part of how we do something. Like if you want to cook, learning how to put different ingredients together, how to create something, right? There's a discipline in there. There's a learning in that. There's that maybe you find you want to learn and create under a certain chef because you admire that person. So you want to learn more about it. Maybe there's something there to learn about, maybe your finances. So you find somebody who you really align. So you become disciplined about learning how to deal with your finance even better. Discipline can be in many areas. Maybe you want to bring in more joy into your life. What does that joy, and it's like, well, why would that be a discipline? Well, maybe because you're a bitch. You're not very good at being joyous, and you want to learn how to be, be full of joy, have happiness in your life, and find happiness in things that you wouldn't normally find the happiness in, right? Maybe you're always like, oh, this always happens to me. Oh, life is so horrible. Oh, why does everybody be an asshole? Maybe then it's like, no, I want to find joy. So you find somebody who is joyful. You find somebody there that has that kind of way of being, and you're just like, oh, okay, I want to tap into that. I want to discover that. So that person becomes the teacher, right? Because you're now wanting to discover. And that's what I feel our journey through Capricorn is. Our journey through Capricorn is discovering that magical part of ourselves to create, to have, to hold, and to share with others, right? And having that Capricornian energy is wanting us to show us that way. And Pluto being at, near the end at 29 degrees, it is it is really showing us that this is the last time we're going to have the sun and Pluto together. And this is going to be the last time we have that kind of oomph, that push to begin to really create the disciplines that we want to create in a very magical way. And here, this is what we are wanting to step forward in and do. It feels overwhelming. This year, I feel is been one that has been interesting. I found 2020, 2021 a lot easier than 2023. I found 2023 a very transitional and different year, a year of bringing new ideas, new concepts, and a new way of living than I ever thought I would be. But it's also really opened up a lot of magic and looking more into that magic that's around, that mystical, beautiful side that is there in amongst chaos and craziness, in amongst where we feel overwhelmed by the structures that are around us and just I'm gonna say the craziness and how people can be very assholish. But a friend of mine used another word, but I didn't really I'm not one to say the C word. So but she said the C word with a T and an ish. Um, that's that can be the feeling of this as well. And especially um this time of year is the time of year to really hanging on to that light, hanging on to that mystery of life, that mystery of the light coming back into the world, the mystery of the sun standing still for 3 days, right? As it starts to move to bring more light to the northern hemisphere. This is a time that feels in many ways, and it has been for many years, being taken away, right? Wanting to take away that illumination, that insight, that mystery, that beauty, and make it very militarian, very concrete, very using the word, and that's the other word, individual, wrong, right? It's where and to be an individual is also to be a part of a community, um, and to share within that community. That's really a part of being an individual. Being an individual is not just, I'm going to do it my way and be a freaking asshole about it. But to be an individual, it's not divided. So to be an individual selves, we need to be undivided. And that's where when Pluto goes into Aquarius, especially fully at the end of 2024, and he's going to be there for the next 20 years, we're going to be discovering what it is to be tuning into a vision of humanity, a future that we know somewhere deep down, perhaps quite buried at this point, but we know is possible. This is where, through the discipline, through the learning, the discovery, that we will be finding that we need to be undivided and coming in, and that is part of being that individual. When you're trying to be so different, so out there, you don't want to connect with anybody. That's not Aquarius. That's not what Capricorn is. What we do in order to bring into Aquarius, right? It's what we want to create, and we bring it into Aquarius so that we can share it, so we can behold it, so we can um find that beautiful uniqueness within the world around us. And that Aquarius energy um that we are going to be discovering is a discovery where we have to find connection. And in finding that connection is finding that discipline within ourselves. and finding that uniqueness within our own selves. And this time of year really has a beautiful concept of the light coming forth. And as the light coming forth, sorry, my hair gets into my eyes. Having the light coming forth is really bringing that uniqueness of who we are. Uh, there we go. Bringing that uniqueness of who we are to light. And we want to grab hold of that. We want to m- just help to mold it into something that is beautiful and scrumptious and joyous and loving in chaos. And that's where we, as a community, as humanitarians, as people of the world, as earth walkers, we have to make sure that that light continues on, that light is not taken away from us, that light can come in and unite us in a way that has never united us before. We are going to see, as it unfolds throughout the coming year and years, how much the light and the unity and the individuality of each of us is going to be so, so important in order for us to come together and not be divided. And in that, this is a beautiful weekend, a beautiful weekend. In amongst the crazy shenanigans and the chaos that's going to unfold, and despite it all, taking some reverence time, taking some time of reverence, and really coming in and just connecting, connecting. Put your hand on. I always say, for people to put their hand on their heart. That's my thing. Put your hand on your heart. Connect. Take some breaths. Sit up straight. Just connect. Just closing your eyes and connecting with what is around you. It's funny, like right now, because usually I can hear the traffic and usually I can hear sirens are going off. But right now, it's just silent in and around me, except for um, the people upstairs. And I can hear my husband's TV in the background. But it's that connection with silence is so important because that's where, and a lot of times people don't like silence. They get scared of silence. If you're used to living in a big city and you go out into the middle of the woods, it's like, well, I'm so used to hearing the rumbling of traffic and noise of a city, right? To be where there is only the sounds of nature is is odd. It's hard to connect. How can I connect with that? And it takes people a while because that silence is a reflection of our own selves, right? So the noise and the hustle and the bustle of the city is a connection of ourselves. It's like, oh, because we have so much noise and hustle and bustle within us. But when we are like really coming in to that silence, that peace, yeah, as I wrote in one of my blogs, like Silent Night and Holy Night are very much a reflection of the the winter solstice, the silent night, the holy night, right? It's that silence, it's that holiness, coming forth and stepping into it. And I find over these next few days as we enter into Monday, Christmas, however you want to celebrate it, but as we're entering into that, we want to enter it with our light and allow that beautiful light and substance to really come through. I was going to do, and I didn't put it up there to do my $10 readings, but what I will do, I'll do them next week before the new year. So that'll be my for 2023. But I just found today was just a really beautiful day of connection. And be aware, Mercury is doing some little crazy shenanigans up there. And but the moon is connecting with Jupiter. So that inward connection of expansion, of an expansion of our values, of our it's not so much of our virtues because it's in Taurus, but of our grounding. We have a lot of earth energy right now, so we can bring a lot into the grounding. So a lot that maybe we were trying to figure out, just take a moment, because Mercury is going to reveal that to us. And if we don't hear it right now, we'll hear it as he comes back into Capricorn, right? And that'll be coming into the new year. So information will be coming in more for you in the new year as he goes back, because he goes forward on January 1st. And as he goes forward, he stops, and then he starts to move towards Capricorn again. And so we're going to find that information and solstice of connection with our inner light very powerful. It's a very powerful connection for all of us, and quite radical. Like, it's the radicalness of our individuality and the discipline that we put it towards is going to make things very phenomenal as we step forward into a unique year. 2024. So I'm gonna have a sip of coffee here. I added eggnog with my coffee this morning. We heat our milk up before we add it to our coffee. So we heated up the eggnog today and put it in the coffee. And you don't need any sugar if you do that, because eggnog's already sweet enough. Oh, it is so good. It's so good. Now, if you can't have eggnog, there's other forms of eggnog and stuff out there, but with the coffee, it just is so yummy. It is just so yummy. Mm. And there's no alcohol or anything in there either. It's just coffee and eggnog. Very scrumptious, very scrumptious. So today, I'm going to pull some cards, but I just, in connecting with you guys today, to let you know, I have 3 readings for $150. I put my 1-hour readings for this weekend till Christmas Day at $50. So if you're, you can get the 3 for $150. It's the same price, right? Uh, so if you want to do that, that's stocking stuffers and everything. I find that for many people, it is a really good, it's a good thing to sort of, I don't know, to have sort of readings throughout the year, and they're already sort of paid for. You have till the end of 2024 to use them. I feel that most people will be utilizing the readings because they're, um, I just had somebody buy some more. I had one lady buy 8. She goes, "I'll need you next year." And so, and plus, I think she's going to give some to her mom and that. So between her and her mom, because they're going through so much different transitioning and stuff like that in their lives. So that's going to be, working with them is going to be a lot of fun. Right. So that's the thing, is like a lot of times when I do these sales, it's like I really want to give people the chance to be able to get guidance throughout the year. I'm not saying I'm the perfect one to get the guidance or whatever, and I'm be all, know all. God, no, I'm not. But I do have insights, and I do have a gift, and I do want to share the gift with all of you. And so trying to make it as reasonable as I can, because I know prices and everything else, and as inflation goes into 2023, it's going to be a shit show, baby. It's going to be a shit show. So I also have my predictions for 2024 on January 30th. If you are wanting to join me in the evening, it's going to be about 3 or 4 hours. I'm going to be doing the predictions for 2024. So if you're wanting that, that is 30 $30. And also, what else do I have? I have a few things going on. The releasement for on January 6th, that releasement has sort of gotten larger in my in planning, but it's supposed to just be a one evening event of doing things. So we'll just keep it at the one evening event. Keep that as one evening, but that's $30 as well. Plus my meditations for January on Sundays. So if you those are $20 for the month of January. Um, so we have a lot of different things that I feel like are reasonably priced for people. And also that really helps me. My big goal is that this is what I want to do, um and continue on doing it. If I step away from it and get a muggle job, which I don't feel will happen, but if it does, it's very difficult for me to do the two, right? Because the muggle job just exhausts me, and it does take a lot of my energy. So a lot of things go sideways when that happens. But so in doing and supporting me is helping me to continue on, to be here, to keep the lights on, to keep my phone bill paid. I can't do that. These all have to be done. And I hope that you continue to support me throughout the new year, and even supporting me now throughout the Christmas. It just keep things going, baby. Keeps things going. And because Mama wants to keep a roof over her head, just like all of us, and we all have different ways of doing it. So, and if any of that doesn't work, I do have Buy Me a Coffee. So if you're wanting to donate, to Buy Me a Coffee, you can do it that way as well, and say, well, I can't afford this, and this, but I would love to help Mama out, and I'm going to give her $10 or whatever. That, you wouldn't believe how much that really helps, as I go forward. And I hate doing like this. Like now I'm thinking, oh my God, I sound like I'm pleading for money. I don't sound like that. But one of the hardest things in learning and having your own business is marketing, is putting yourself out there. And one of the biggest things that I've learned within marketing is if you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't ask, if you look at any business that's out there, if they don't ask or let you know that they're there, it's very difficult and for them to continue to survive. So if I don't come out here and let you know about sales or specials that I'm doing, then you don't know. So, and that's all part of the marketing. That's all part, and how things are promoted, how things are put out there. So that's one of my disciplines for this year, is really learning how to do better quality um videos, right? And really learning how, because learning to do videos and marketing can be exhausting in itself, because it's a job within itself. And everybody, some people, well, why don't you get people? Well, the finances aren't really there for me to pay somebody to do it. So I have to learn it, and then hopefully that creates more of the financial abundance, which I love financial abundance. Um, will help me to be able to bring somebody on board to help me with the marketing, bring somebody on board to help me to better my website and stuff. Those types of things, when you are wanting to create a business, doesn't matter what the business is, you need to have an understanding that if you're doing it on your own, you really have to have the discipline to do it. And sometimes it's exhausting, overwhelming, and you want to hide away. But in hiding away, you are doing a disservice to yourself, and you're doing a disservice to others. And I understand Mercury's retrograde and people can make excuses, but that doesn't mean that you're going to go and change your whole website. Like, I don't touch my website when Mercury's retrograde. I don't. I try and stay away from any, technology. But what I do is that anything I am doing, and it's just small bases and small little learning, that's what I do. Or if there's something that needs to be completed, I really learn how to complete that with Mercury retrograde, right? And take advantage of that energy of, because when Mercury's retrograde is very feminine, when he's forward, he's very masculine. So coming into that intuitive side, coming into that part that is very soft and more gentle with ourselves, because Mercury is like, he's going so fast that he takes 3 to 4 vacations a year. And then taking those vacays a year is really teaching us to, oh, okay, I need to slow down as well. I need to not push as much as what I usually do. Doesn't mean that you stop doing anything that you're doing, but it just means that you're going to just sort of reroute things and take a different detour, look at things in a different way, complete whatever needs to be completed at this time, so that when things get in motion and start going, it's like, oh, okay, I can, I feel more energetic, and now I'm going to take the longer course. I'm going to learn how to use Adobe Photo or video or whatever it's called. I don't know. I got to learn that. I'm going to learn how to do that. I've already really, over the last few months, understood how to use Canva. I mean, the things you could do on Canva are unbelievable. Like and learning how to do different things on Canva. Some of it, like I just watched a video on learning how to do something on Canva, and I'm like, okay, I gotta watch it over a couple times. I know when I kind of get something, but I don't get something because I get very anxious, and I'm just like, oh my God. And I just get kind of frenzy, and I can feel the electricity around my aura. So then I know, okay, I got to do this a couple times. I got to play with it a couple times. And it's like, kind of like, a mind fuck, because it'll try to get you out because you're doing something new. So that's the process of this Mercury retrograde, is learning that, okay, not everything's going to work, but I'm going to learn something a little bit new. I'm going to try something a little bit different. Yes, if things go chaotic and everything with your electronics, just breathe. Breathe right now. Take a step back. And know it's going to come back. You're going to get it fixed. Things are going to work. So don't try and force the issue right now. Because it just forcing the issue is just going to get you more frustrated and overwhelmed. So you don't want to do that. So really taking that time is an important piece on our journey throughout till January 1st. But then he's still in the shadow, and he won't be out of the shadow for a little bit until I think the second week of January, and then he hits 8 degrees again, in that 8 degrees of Capricorn, and then off he goes. All right. So let's just embrace this time, enjoy. Sit back, have some eggnog and coffee. It's really yummy. And if you want, we don't have a microwave, so we heat everything up on the stove. So, and so that's how we, anyways, heat up our meal. But heat it up and put it in there. It's so yummy and warm and delicious. So it's a nice little treat during this time. So let's pull some cards. DM me and let me know if you would like to purchase any of those wonderful goodies that I have. And let's see what's going on. So next Friday, I will be having the $10 live readings on. So if you are wanting to do the $10 live readings, which is going to be on the 29th, definitely get a hold of me. And I only do, whoopsie, I lost everybody online. I only do, I do a few, but just to make sure that your spot is reserved. So there we go. Ten of Pentacles. Beautiful. Well, the Ten of Pentacles wants to bring in, it is the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, you have the person who's worked very hard for everything that they've gotten, right? And enjoying. And then you have that new family that's there, and that youngster who's like sort of looking at the dogs and looking at the old man. What's going on over there? And the two sort of lovers that are, that meet. It could be the mom and the dad that sort of pass each other. So it's almost like there's this transitioning of energy. It's the earth energy, and it's like this. Yeah, look at all what I'm appreciating everything of where I've come from, and really looking at where I'm going and what that feels like for oneself. When we look at the 10 of Pentacles, it is one of prosperity and security. Looking around, am I ready to celebrate, my soul family and accept each moment as a gift? So looking around and taking time to experience the freedom you have created for yourself, and looking at the things that you have and enjoying life's simple pleasures. So the 10 comes in and saying, begin to enjoy those simple pleasures, because the Queen is saying, yeah, it's that emotional energy. It's bright, it's beautiful, it's feeling very loving and caring. The Queen is she's emotional, she's in touch with her emotions, but she is, I call her the Italian Queen. The reason I call her the Italian Queen is because she likes nice things, right? Or she's a hippy dippy queen. She likes her nice things. She likes her, she has an introspective of things. She has ideas. There's a deep place of knowing. And when you're at the 10 of Pentacles, it's like, yeah, I am secure. I am good. I have some beautiful things that are going on in my life, and it's really beautiful. And I'm going to come in and remember to be gentle with my heart and be gentle with that is around me, because I know sometimes I can be very fragile. But if I step into that beauty that is around me and remember that there's a mystical and spiritual practice that I have, and I can step into the mystical magical energy because it's always around me, it allows me to appreciate everything even more. This is so Capricornian energy, right? So mystical and magical, yet you have the discipline of everything that you need to do. So this is, how do I put aside some of the things for me, just for me? How do I do that? Ooh, and it's the 4 of Cups reversed, right? So it's like, yeah, and accept that's around you. I'm going to look up the question for the 4 of Cups reversed, because I think that's so awesome, because this is where you are close to breaking any of the boredom or the stagnant. You're done. You're ready, and it's time to escape the routine. So it's like being open to your heart and your feelings. So when the 4 is reversed, it's like, I'm ready. I'm ready to have the beauty around me. I'm ready to accept the beautiful things that are around me, and an opportunity to focus on the new projects in my life. I'm excited about that. Let me step into it, knowing that I have that beautiful intuition and knowingness and gentleness of respecting myself and the safety and security, because I do have loving, caring family that's around me. So how can I connect more with my heart? How can I connect more with my heart? So on this weekend or on this Friday, connect with your heart. That Mercury and Sun is about, how can I connect with that in things that are crazy, and things that are nutty and kind of all over the place, right? So connect with the heart, connect with the beauty that's around you. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all you do. Blessed be, and take a look at all the special offerings I have for this weekend, and we will talk to you tomorrow. So have a blessed one, everybody. And I keep talk about Mercury retrograde. Things keep just going crazy, crazy, crazy here, but that's okay. So we'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone.